Welcome to another Traffic Cardinal podcast where we discuss all things related to affiliate marketing. Today, we decided to delve deeper into the iGaming industry and invited Henk Wolff, an independent iGaming strategy consultant. How's it going in general? How's the weather in the Netherlands?
Easy. Yeah, the weather is crazy. It's like almost 30 degrees out here. So weather like we're melting. So most of us work at home or luckily even from Varna in Bulgaria.
Mm-hmm.
And we're trying to set up a shop in Malta, so that's going really well.
Uh-huh.
We'll be visiting Malta as well next week. But business-wise, yeah, we're killing it. We're the fastest growing consultancy firm in the industry, so can't complain.
Oh, I see. A lot of different things going on in your life.
Sure, for sure, yeah.
So I heard you attended AfPapa in Madrid, and it must have been a wonderful show. How did it go? Tell me the usual things. Do you feel recharged, invigorated, or in the contrary, fatigued, I don't know, tired, content, whatever it is?
Well, I always take like aspirins with me when I go to a business fair, and I take extra vitamins and all of those kind of things, and it just helps. It helps you get through the day, and also make sure that you don't feel sick afterwards that much. We've got one of our team that's not feeling well today due to the conference. But I think Levon and his team at AfPapa, they absolutely nailed it. It was brilliant. It wasn't too big at all. It was very intimate, very personal. Whereas if you go to these bigger conferences, you're always looking at your watch, like, oh, I've only got like 10 more minutes to talk to this guy, and then I got to move to the other side. And here it's like, yeah, you actually have time to sit down, and it was good. It was good to meet people on a more personal and deeper level.
So I'd say you had an opportunity to chat with everyone instead of rushing across the expo trying to see people around. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Usually you're literally just badge scanning. Do you know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? Like you're looking at the badge, like, oh, that's just a waste of time here. And at AfPapa, it was more like, all right, we can have a chat as long as you're not a PSP or a backlink seller. We can have a chat. But no, it was good. It was really good.
Well, I'm great. It's very great to hear because you see, I wouldn't say I'm a regular, but I sometimes attend different conferences, usually Affiliate World, and then there is Sigma. And I remember visiting Webmaster Access, was it in Cyprus a few years ago? And you see, I'm always a bit crept out because everything is happening, it's overwhelming, and I don't really know how to behave. Although I'm a very easygoing person, as you can see, I feel like you see, everything is going on at the same time, and I'm trying to connect to people. Everyone is busy, and you're not quite sure how to approach people and whether you are allowed to approach them because they're very, very busy. And you're like, well, what am I to do?
Well, usually we make sure that we've got our meetings ahead scheduled, right? So
Mm-hmm.
if I go to a conference, I already map out who I really want to speak with, who I absolutely don't want to speak with, and who would be great and like optimistic as well. So that's what I usually do, and I try to get that sorted in my calendar. And as soon as that ready, and I do have a few minutes of spare time, yeah, I'll approach if those on the opportunistic list, like if I can see them, if I can spot them, if they're at the stand as well, and yeah.
You have a structure, I see.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I think you should. If you go to a conference, it's quite a little bit. It's quite costly, right? You send out
Mm-hmm.
like, well, to AfPapa, we went with two people, so you're already paying salary. Then you've got the stands that you have to pay for, the hotel, the travel. So you have to make sure, like, all right, if we're going with this many people, we've got dinners to attend to, cabs. Like, you're going to invest quite a few euros. So you have to make sure that you're also trying to get most out of it. And that's how I usually go around these conferences. We do have fun, but it's also hard work. Yeah, for sure.
So it was a short warm up for us both. And usually I beat around the bush asking all sorts of questions about the background. I'm also interested, but this time I'm ready to talk shop right off the bat. Sorry. It has to be this way because, I game in a very popular niche, very interested, everybody's impatient. So, it only stands to reason if we start with regulation, a hot topic, I'd say. From what I know, unregulated gaming has now become the third largest economy globally, according to a new report from Gaming Compliance International. I'm reading it. It reached $5.9 trillion in global wagering value in 2025. At the same time, gray hat industries are growing faster than any national economy. So, my question is, Should specialists adapt to force legalization, or they can keep working in the gray zone?
Look, I think if we could get it all regulated, it would be brilliant. The thing is with regulators and mainly politics is that they try to enforce too many rules on operators. If you look at Germany, there can only be one spin every 3 seconds. In the Netherlands, they've ruined the market completely, and they're just making up numbers about the channelization rate. It it's not a fair battleground. If you're a regulated party, if you're a regulated casino, and you have to fight up against these unregulated parties who can do whatever they want with bonuses, cashbacks, game offering, product offering, all of that. I'm not saying that you should go unregulated to make more money. I think we do need really strict responsible gambling ethics in place for every new casino. I think that should be platform based and make sure that everybody's on the same baseline. Like here is where we draw the line in regards to profit and responsible gambling. In regards to compliance, there's now talk about an EU tax for casinos and everything, and Malta already said they're going to veto it. I don't think it would be realistic to say we all need to go regulated. I think it is the market is going to regulate itself, and we've got new casinos coming up daily. The thing is, we've got cowboys out there. We've got people who don't really care about responsible gambling or compliance, and we'll always keep those bad apples, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there are a lot of unregulated casinos with or either an adjoining license, MGA, Curacao, whatever, that are trying their uttermost best to be RG compliant, to have a great AML team, everything. But just going to a regulated market doesn't make sense for them. And I can fully see why. I can fully see why. And I think it's an uphill battle for the regulators and politics. But I think they should also realize that the more you strangle the regulated operators, the bigger the growth in the unregulated area will be.
Mm-hmm, I see. And speaking about strict regulations, I'd say that there's also badgering. It happens all that often. I don't normally use that word, but unfortunately, this is the only way to put it. That's the app description here when it comes to gambling and casinos in general. The first occasion that comes to mind was in Turkey, where more than 3 million players are going to be fined up to $8,000, which is an enormous sum that's increasingly like too much. That's too much simply. Then there's also South Korea, which drops dimes on illegal betting operators and is going to inform the police in case something happens, to err on the side of caution.
Yeah.
So, what's happening to the niche? Is it a predictable turn of events or something out of the ordinary?
I think this was predictable, right? And what we're now getting into is that all of these players are now going to go to crypto casinos because when a regulator is going to punish the player will make sure that they're invincible, right? So in the beginning, we had to use a VPN to play on unregulated websites. And now, because of the way it works, everything will move offshore. The crypto wallets will move offshore, so there will be more fraud there. Players have to be careful which wallet they will pick. They have to be careful which casino they pick, and all of these are just it's humans are really good in finding solutions. There was this ban on social media that they did in Australia, and it was for everybody above the age of 14, I
Mm-hmm.
believe, or 12, something like that, or under the age of 12, 14. And what they already did is they already installed VPN on their mobile phone when and this is a subject that's quite near to our industry. When porn was now prohibited for anyone under the age of 18 in the UK, one of the biggest products that sold that year was VPN products. Like we as a human are so capable of finding solutions, and these regulators should be aware of how that market works. Like if you're going to deny something, if you're going to ban something, the, the consumer will find their way because the way they don't like what the regulator has offered us. And yeah, that's why always see consumers trying to avoid regulators.
So you would say that VPNs and moving offshore would be the safe way to, well, the safe way out of the predicament for people who are working with this niche
Yeah.
and this offers.
Yeah,
Okay.
you'll see way more VPN, you'll see way more crypto wallets, and everything's going offshore. And this is where the EU, not just the EU, any country that does this, but they will lose quite a lot of money. Like you just said, it's the third biggest moneymaker in the world. What are we doing? Why are we trying to regulate something that you're obviously failing to regulate? And this is the result. So one of the best industries in the world is now making more money because you overregulate. Great job. Great
Yeah.
job.
I see. You're treating it like a very anecdotic subject, I should say. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I understand what you're trying to say because, well, yeah, the more you try to toughen the regulations, the more you're failing in the process. It doesn't help. You need to revise the entire process, actually.
Yeah, and they just need to admit that they've made a mistake. I mean, the UK, they just doubled their taxes. We've seen there are studies out there which show us if you go about 30% or low 30 is fine, but high 30% on tax is when you're going to kill the market. So this is where black market activity grows in countries that have these high taxes. Whereas countries such as Estonia, they've done
Hmm.
brilliant. They've got low tax and the channelization rate here is immensely high. It's because the offering can be matched by those that are doing it offshore.
Hmm. And what do you think the future holds for a gaming niche? Say, what will it look like in, I don't know, 5, 7 years, if it's possible to predict something? Is it plausible for operators to bring at least, well, half of the unlicensed operators into the legal market and collect full tax revenues from them?
Hmm. I do think unregulated is the way to start the casino, right? You go to pre-regulated countries and you make money there, and that's where you move into a regulated country.
Yeah.
However, the next 5 years, I think black market activity will grow even more and even bigger than ever before. We've already seen it happening. I don't think there's any way that the regulated market will stand a chance in the next 5 years. I mean, you can just set up a company, get a debt, get a fine from a regulator, and you just dissolve the company, go to the next one, and you keep the database. It is so silly to think that everybody will go to the regulated market. I think that would be the most ignorant thing to say.
I see. Now let us switch to a topic that can be described as half marketing, half branding. Personally, this is very interesting for me because you see, attention span in people is non-existent right now. Yeah, unfortunately, this is the case. Every time I catch myself watching Instagram videos, reels, I don't know, something on Twitter, I'm like, well, I need to do something else, but I cannot because I need to focus and I literally cannot focus. Although I'm diagnosed with an ADHD, it's not the excuse nowadays. So, how difficult is it to retain users nowadays and keep their attention in place?
Right. What we still see is retention techniques that have been working for, well, that they used 5 years ago, and they're now slowly getting stuck in it. So they do still think that using a first name in an email subject is the way of personalization. No, no, like that worked 5 years ago, but it's been a while. It's 2026 already. So if you still only use a first name and you think now you've done personalization, you're gonna fall off. And I think where we do see huge growth in retention is still the paid media way. So you still get a lot of traffic through Meta. That is great. And email marketing, SMS marketing, to me, that remains king. That is absolutely. It will have that for the next 20 years as well. I highly believe that. Yeah.
So you say that the first name in emails not is not working anymore. So what does work?
Right, right. So I'm not saying it doesn't work, but there are more effective ways. So
Hmm.
we look at player behavior, their consumer behavior is what we like to call it. We use dynamic tags that are based around this personal behavior of this consumer on the website, such as his average deposit size, or we add 10% on top of that, and if you deposit that amount of money, he'll get this bonus, which is higher than he usually gets. Stuff like that triggers a player. Not just his favorite game, but his last three games, the amount he withdrew or she withdrew in the last 24 hours. favorite payment methods, all that stuff. You have to look at more in depth things that consumers actually use. And not just that happy birthday email. No, if you know their wife's or husband's birthday, use that as well. Like if you got a VIP and you know that data, use it because that's where retention is at. It's personalization, and that still wins if you do it correctly.
So you double down on the analytics, on the behavioral patterns, that kind of stuff. Okay.
For sure.
And
And with AI, I think this retention game is going to increase by a tenfold. I think we're just scratching what is possible. If you look at products such as Optimove, what they've done now with their AI tooling, I think if you look at the next 10 years, we'll have an retention system that is so easily to use that every marketer can use it because of the use of AI. But I do think it is also the tool that you, if you don't use it correctly, it will bust your casino for sure.
well, yeah, definitely. And apart from those first names, are there any other retention techniques that are no longer working for people?
Right. Well, I think there's still most of these techniques that are still valid. Not in the way that it would be optimal, but they're valid in certain use cases. Um, I think depending on what channel the user uses and using that channel as the main communication channel as well. So if they're mainly on Meta, you want to have Meta ads. If they're mainly on mobile, you're going to use text or WhatsApp. I do think we'll get a big influx soon with WhatsApp and Telegram. We already see huge communities on Telegram, but I think that will increase more and more. And that is because of the way that the market has shifted now towards communities as well. 10 years ago, we didn't really have these gambling communities that followed a casino, and we're now slowly starting to dip into those. The retention techniques that I do see failing, or well, the more activation techniques that I do see failing, is the refer a friend. Like I've seen it on so many casinos, and if you look at the attributed conversions through those refer a friend, they're minimal. They're usually like below 100, not 100 new conversions within the last 2 years. So I think refer a friend is something that we have to reinvent and innovate and make sure that it is more allocated to this time as well. So it should be more social. For games such as bingo, I can see it happening, but I think it's hard. And even though retention, if you go through mouth of mouth commercials, so mouth of mouth to mouth advertising, that is the best acquisition and retention tool that you can have at the same time. Because now you and your friend have something to talk about. Like you can discuss your latest wins and that kind of stuff. Branding is still one of the biggest retention tools that there is. If you've got a strong brand, then you'll be fine because now the consumer will always remember your brand. But if you don't have any brand identity, that is also a bad retention technique. So it's basically, yeah, it comes down to those things. I think really bad retention techniques are just the emails that are being blasted, like
Mhm.
every newsletters. If you just have one newsletter and you send it out to all your players, you're lost.
Yeah, I can imagine. I have a bunch of newsletters. I never read them.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Because they're not personalized to you. And that's what
Well,
matters.
I wouldn't say they're not personal. I just forget about them. You see, you have a preview on your phone and you just swipe it because it's not relevant at the moment. I'm busy. I'm watching my Instagram reels, I'm busy. So, yeah, and then I forget about that completely. And when I need to log into my email, I'm like, oh, well, do I really need to read it? Is it that important, really? It can wait. And it waits and it waits and it waits. Never to be read. This is how it works.
Yeah, so you Meta and social media, that would be the great retention tool. Yeah.
Okay, and can you actually win your users back? What can you do to make players return to your brand, say, in a week, in a month, something like
Yeah.
this?
So once a player has left your casino for longer than 30 days, it's really hard to win them back. So the first 10 days are crucial for any casino. You need that healthy 7-day cohort. Um, and after 30 days, you have to be even more creative. Do they have an open balance account? What was their last withdrawal? What did it went successful? Did they had any issues with it? Um, when's their birthday coming up? Can you play around with that? Is that nearing? But also email techniques such as have you forgotten your passwords? They work brilliantly. They are absolutely smashing it. And we still use them. And you can even use updates like, hey, we know you like this game in the past. There's a new version of it. I mean, there are like what, 20 Gates of Olympus nowadays. So, you can play around with those kind of things. But to me, the more creative email campaigns that says, have you forgotten your password? Someone tried to log into your account. Those kind of campaigns, they are really effective. Not saying that they're allowed in every market, but yeah, they're really good.
But yeah, you just nagged me about something. You see, I remember I was using Steam. I play sometimes with usual games, and sometimes they send us there is an upgrade, and then there is some kind of sale, and you're like, yes, I'm interested. Please tell me more about that. I'm curious.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It works.
Probably works everywhere because when you see the word sale, I didn't think I needed that game, but now I do. Now I do. You convinced me. Okay.
Especially if they show that game in ads as well.
Yes.
Omni-channel it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's when it.
Exactly. When there is a picture of it, because I don't remember the name of the game, like there is a bunch of those that are on your wish list, and you're like, well, I don't remember what kind of game this was. Oh, well, now I do, and I like it, and the sale is perfect.
Yeah, that's great. Omni marketing is what you should use for sure.
Obviously, they are nailing it. Their analytics is probably perfect. Too bad for my wallet.
Yeah.
I'm so sad about that. Honestly, I played too many games this past few days.
What is your favorite game? What is your favorite game?
Oh, Baldur's Gate 3,
Oh
definitely.
yeah, that one was brilliant.
Yes, I love it. Then there was Resident Evil, the new
Oh
one.
yeah,
Because Leon, everybody likes Leon.
okay. Good,
What
good.
else? Crime Scene Cleaner,
Is it
number
good?
one. It's perfect if you like those washing simulators, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. There is a person. He is a well, no, it's a very interesting podcast. You see, okay, there is a person. Very quick, very quick. We can cut it out. So there is a person who is. He is forced to work as a janitor, and a very authoritative kingpin calls him that he needs to clean the mess after a murder or something like this, and he's bound to do that because his daughter is failing currently. She is sick, very sick, and he has to do that. And then you actually have to haul all those bodies on you and
That's
clear
cool.
blood
Okay.
and stuff. I love it. This is perfect. Like, is it really? And it is a Polish game. I did not expect something like this from Poland. I mean, I remember the Witcher, which was good, and after that,
Oh yeah.
probably nothing. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
fair.
yeah, check it out. That's perfect. I
All
love it.
right,
That's
I
my
will, I
favorite.
will. For sure.
I'll let you know. On WhatsApp.
Yeah, yes. Drop me a Steam later on, and yeah, for sure.
Okay. Okay. Now let's get back.
Yeah.
So I have a provocative question because it's about brain rot. What do you think about brain rot in iGaming? From what I know, an NGM study claims that such slots can potentially attract up to 45 million new players, which is an enormous number. And even if that's indeed the case, is it a long-term game? Does it still make sense to launch such a product when the hype is gradually failing?
Right. This is where I think AI will be very useful in the near future. We already see live tables using AI portraits of influencers and all that stuff. I think that is going to be the next step where we have AI characters of your favorite influencer. You can pick it yourselves and they'll make the jokes. The AI would be so trained that it looks like you're actually watching a live stream of your favorite influencer as your dealer. I think that's where we're going to go within the next 5 years. And you can quote me on this in 5 years. If this isn't right in 5 years, you can quote me on it. But I think that's where we go for sure. And with brain rot, I mean, brain rot is usually the scrolling, right? That's the activity that we do. And we just need that new hit of endorphin. And we see that in the younger generations, especially TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels. It's the same thing. We just want that 7-second funny video and we just go to the next one. if you show a kid nowadays these long tail videos that we used to watch in well, when I was younger, like a movie like The Lion King or whatsoever, it's way harder for them to retain their attention span for it. So now games and game developers have to think about this as well. Like, without losing the attention, how do we make sure that the consumers stay playing? Now, there are other buttons, there are like boost buttons, but now these normal slots have to really think about, all right, what are we going to do with games coming up such as Aviator and Aviatrix? I mean, they're huge because they're so easy to understand, and the endorphin spike is easy to follow. Prediction market as well. There are so many new things. Well, prediction isn't new, but it's re-innovated, and I think that's what slots have to do as well. We have to keep re-innovating. We have to keep making sure that we understand what the consumer wants and that we develop games for them. Like, I don't think slower games will be in the future. I think it will be constantly that thrive for new things, such as you just mentioned gaming, Counter-Strike. When you open a case, you can see how close you are to getting that knife. And just that is the thrill. And I think we'll have more games that are like that. So now if a slot it drops and you feel like, all right, spin next, spin next, spin next. But with the cases, you actually build sustain up, and that is the fun about it. And I think that is what we'll see more of. But
Mm-hmm.
for live dealers, influencers, like AI version of influencers, yeah, that's a no-brainer. That's what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm. I see. Thank you. And do emergent brands have a real, and I mean real, chance to compete with giants, say like Stake, after, I don't know, 2, 3, 5 years of steady growth?
Yeah, this is funny because people ask me this quite a lot, and I think, look, Steak isn't that old. Steak is not that old, and Rainbad, Rubad, they're all not that old. They had massive growths in the last years. So, do I still believe there is space? I believe this iGaming industry, the online gaming industry, the online casino industry, there's massive spaces for new entries. You just have to realize when you're a new entry and you have a marketing budget of 10K per month, you're not going to be the next Stake, unless you're going to be really lucky. And that is like a 0.0001% chance. But if you're like, all right, I've got a 10K marketing budget, I don't want to be Stake, I'm fine if I can get 150K NGR every month. That's fine. Not everybody has to be the next Stake. I mean, there is like, even if you look at clothing, you've got Prada, you've Hugo Boss, you've got Louis Vuitton. Not everybody wants to be the same. Then sure, revenue is nice, but some are fine with just making enough revenue to, supply the family, provide for them. So I think there is plenty of food on the plate. We can all eat. I mean, and I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for everybody who's worked in this industry. But there's plenty to eat for sure.
So essentially, you say that it makes sense to launch your own casino brand in today's environment.
Oh, for sure. Not just that, but you need to make sure that you pick the right geo as well. If you're going for a geo that's already saturated, your odds dramatically reduce. But in 2026, yeah, launch your casino for sure.
Okay, I'm surprised actually to hear it because I was kind of thinking that it's fried already, burned out. I don't know. I just don't probably have the full picture. You see, I'm trying to talk to different people in different niches, and I'm like, I know a little bit of I know a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and well, yeah.
But you just stated earlier, it's the third biggest growing
Yes,
industry in the
yes,
world.
but yes, I understand, but at the same time, I'm not that good at at economy, obviously.
Okay, okay. No, but if you look at, all right, let's say French fries. There's
Okay,
McDonald's, Five
okay.
Guys, right? You've got the big ones, but you always have the local ones as well.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be the big one if you're happy
Ah,
with.
okay. So you're competing with the locals.
Yeah,
I
for sure,
get
for
it.
sure.
Now I get it. You're the best teacher I had.
The
No, seriously,
same
no,
usually.
nobody explained it to me at school or at the university. I had a class on economy and I failed, as you can see. Okay. And what are the hidden risks of launching your own casino brand?
Well, the biggest hidden risk, what I see, is that they all want to launch within a week, right? You always see like, oh, launch now, launch now. No, no, no. Take your time, develop a brand. Make sure that you pick the right platform for your geo and what you want to offer. If you want to offer just sports, you don't need casino. Just pick a platform that is specialized in this. Pick a platform that is specialized in a geo as well, and make sure that you don't get like deadlocked within any contract. So PSP with like 10% rate, no, skip that. You have to really do your market research, and that's why we created iGaming consultancy, because we really want to help these new market entries to make sure that they don't get fucked over by these companies that do try to make money out of them. But we try to guide them to become profitable. So once you've got a good tech stack, so one that fits your geo, fits your product, once you've developed a good brand, which has a brand identity, which isn't just like, oh, we got a blue color, this is our brand now. No, you've just created a color on a website. Great. You need to have your tone of voice. You need to have your social media content. All of this is quite a lot of work. New market entries usually underestimate either how important the tech stack is, so they sign with a PSP, payment service provider, who charges them like 14%, or they don't understand like, oh, I do need social media because that's where my audience nowadays is. They're younger. They only go for pure affiliate acquisition, which now reduces their net revenue by another 50%. So, you have to have all of that in a good mix. So your marketing plan has to be really accurate. I've seen new entries in casinos. There was one recently. They asked me to consult for them. They wanted to drop in a geo where we're really specialized in, which is Canada, which it's one of our favorite geos. And they had like, they said like, all right, we've got less than 25K marketing budget, but our financial prognosis said we'll be making more than 3 million but an NGR by the end of this year. And I just looked at the analysis and I was like, yeah, okay, if you really think you're going to make that, and I can't change your mind, I'm not going to touch this project because you're out of your mind. 6 months later, they come by and they be like, all right, I think we made a mistake. Can you still help us out? That's who we help, right? Those kind of parties that go into optimistically, and these platforms are like, can you give us a financial prognosis? And it's always blown up. And yeah, so you need a good marketing stack, you have a good marketing understanding, and you need the people. Don't
Mm.
underestimate how many people you need to run an online casino.
So you kind of say that everything must be mapped out before you actually try to make this endeavor.
For sure, for sure. Like you have to understand what a VIP is and why you should treat a VIP differently. You should know like what your brand identity is. You should know your tech stack. What are the risks of going with a certain bank? What are the risks of accepting crypto? You always have to be aware of all these kind of things. Even something simple as a hot and a cold wallet in a crypto casino. Those are basic knowledge things that you now need to be aware of.
And you have to delve deeper into that. Oh my God, that's so difficult.
Yeah,
That's-
it is. It is. It is. So even though I always tend to say like, oh, launching an online casino is easy, it is for me because I've been doing this for years. But if I would now open up a barber shop, I don't even know how to hold a scissors. Like, don't leave me alone with scissors in the room. Like, but a casino, I'll make profitable. Yeah.
Oh, barbershop, I'm sorry. That was way too much.
Oh, good.
I was thinking about that old musical, Sweeney Todd with his blade, dangerous blade, or whatever it's called. Like, oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. Yeah, it's you have to be an expert in your field, and new entries usually underestimate how much work.
But I think it works for any niche. You have to really understand what you're dealing with if you want to be the first. Well, not even the first, if you want to stay on the surface.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Surviving is year one for online
Mm.
casinos. That's year one.
So, what aspects of user acquisition are overrated today and what's underrated?
All right. Ooh, that's a good one. Underrated SEO for sure. I
Oh,
think SEO is one of the aspects that most market entries fail. They don't have any SEO plan within the first year, so I think that's where they fail dramatically. Um, I think meta ads are also still underutilized as well as they should be. Overrated. Wow, that is hard. Um, wow. Okay. I don't want to say affiliates because I think affiliates are really good if you've got the right affiliates. But having an affiliate without a baseline and all that stuff, that's when affiliates are overrated. So you can have 100 affiliates, but if you don't have a baseline and you do a hybrid deal and now you're wasting money, yeah, that one is rough. So not every affiliate, but a lot of affiliates are overrated.
Okay, some affiliates, let's say. Not to offend anyone.
No, 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 no. I love my affiliates. Like, keep partnering up, brothers.
But they have to keep it in mind, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so what geos are the most intricate to work with from your experience and why?
All right. So recently we've dipped into Australia.
Mhm.
We got a few operators there, both on both ends of the spectrum. Like the full rainbow color, we help everybody there. I think Australia is brilliant, and you see a lot of similarities to New Zealand in terms of customer behavior. So once you're successful in Australia, you'll probably be successful in New Zealand as well, which is really fun, a really fun market. One of the most fun markets at the moment is Finland because it's pre-regulated and it's going regulated next year. I think that one is absolutely brilliant. Chile and Peru are my favorite LATAM countries at the moment. I don't go for Brazil anymore, and I think no new market entry should go to Brazil. And yeah, and I'll double down on that as well. If you're going to LATAM, go to Chile or Peru, Argentina, not Mexico or Brazil anymore. That time has been past.
Why?
It's like it's like hearing now that you should invest in Apple rather than in
Ah.
1990, right?
Mhm.
It's like when the news trickled down to someone who's never heard of this industry, now as an opportunity to go in Brazil. No, no, go to the other markets that are way more profitable. I think the Dutch market is very interesting, even though the regulation, the channelization rate is really bad. I think the Dutch market is really interesting. Germany is still fun. I'm really looking forward to see the development of Africa more. I love South Africa. I love Ghana. I love, there's a few other countries in there as well, Ghana, Nigeria. I think those are amazing. But I would love to see the development within the countries that are surrounding it. I would love to see the more northern African countries do more, such as Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia. We see a couple of winners there, but I think there's more space for people there.
I see. And which geos usually end up with negative margins, even though everyone rushes there because they're trending? I expect to hear
Brazil.
Brazil. Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah,
For sure.
woo! Mexico, Mexico.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. I think Brazil is where a lot of operators come to us and they've got issues because they now launched in Brazil and they have no prior experience in LATAM at all. Like they don't even know if you type KKK 4 times, like the letter K, that it's actually just laughing. And like those kind of things, like you have to be so aware of most people don't even know the difference in which countries they speak Portuguese and Spanish in LATAM. And now they want to target a continent that has such a divided and at the same time unified language and culture, but they've got their own niches and not utilizing that correctly. Yeah, that's when people fail dramatically. Fun to watch, but it's sad as well.
Okay, fun to watch, but you want to stay away from it.
Yeah, yeah, go to the other countries. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Chile, I remember.
Yeah, Chile and Peru, go for it.
Yeah, Chile and Peru, indeed. And what about payment systems? Have you ever experienced a situation where the main payment method in a particular region went down and the traffic literally died before your eyes?
Oh yeah, we see that happen all the time. Like payment provider, they've got issues as soon as regulators step in, right? And but luckily there are plenty of payment providers. And if one tells you like, all right, we cannot sort this within a week, you need to make sure that you already have your plan B ready and integrated in your platform, and you can just switch it on and just tell them like, all right, now we're going to use your services. You know, you have to have plan B always ready. Look at India or the Philippines, where they banned using certain payment methods. A lot of these casinos that dropped out, they weren't ready for such things. So they were not ready for this risk. And risk mitigation is one of the things that we do as a casino. You're always extinguishing fires. That is like our main job within this industry. You're extinguishing fires. And that's what you either like it or you hate it.
Oh, that's interesting. And that's like doing a stunt. obviously.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like PID in Australia, we've had so many issues with that. So forth in other countries, and PIX in Brazil is easy, but like if you go to certain countries, payment providers can be a little bit of a hassle for sure.
And finally, a few finalizing questions for you. What are the green flags you spot in an operator, provider, or in general in any partner that immediately signal that you will work hand in glove perfectly?
If they understand what a 7 day cohort is. So if I ask them like, what is your 7 day cohort? And it means how long does your player stays for after registration for 7 days. If they understand that number and they can literally tell me that number without even looking it up, because I can for most of my clients. But if I got a marketing manager who can easily tell me that number, or tell me how much of the bonus percentage is of the GGR, those are KPIs that I am like, all right, you'll make it happen. You just need guidance. Um, that is a for sure. That's a green flag. And as well as if they're investing in several marketing channels for acquisition, then it's when I know, like, right, you understand the basics of it. Now let's fine tune it.
Thank you. Looking back with your current experience, what advice would you give to your younger self when you were just starting out?
I want to give to everybody actually start an affiliate website.
Mm.
Not only will it generate revenue for you, even if you just send one FTD through in a year, but it definitely helps you with networking skills. Which casinos do you want to work with? What is a contract? What is a baseline? What is an FTD? What is a ref share? What is a CPA? You'll learn so much just from running one affiliate website. And if you have spare time, if you're a student, especially if you're a student and you got, you're doing easy on school and you got a little bit of work to make your money, start an affiliate website for sure. That is the number one thing I highly recommend anyone doing it. It will expand your network. If you're doing well, you'll be noticed. You might be bought out, but you may also get job offers from the industry that you're already interested in. So for sure, start an affiliate website.
Number one, okay. This is going to be the title. Not kidding. I'm not joking.
That's good. It's good. Start an affiliate website. Yeah, highly agree.
That's actually catchy. That's very engaging, I'd say.
Good. It's good.
Okay, and the last one, but not the least. If you were launching your own brand today, what would you focus on first?
Localization.
Oh,
So we launched a brand in Canada, which is called Looney Play, from the duck loon. The loon is on the dollar coin. So what we did is we created like an entire community of these ducks, and they interact with each other. We even created a Donald Trump sort of like. And if he emails you, it's in full caps. Like, this is the best casino, you're the best player, like full caps. Localization matters so much because it gives our recognition, right? People understand what you're talking about. Like I just said, if you go to Latam and you speak the wrong language in the country, you're already failing. So localization is one of the most important things of starting an online casino. Understanding the market. Yeah.
that's interesting, actually. I thought about localization a lot, especially when I talked to other iGaming specialists. And yes, they mentioned localization, but not that much, not with this enthusiasm. And now I'm like, yeah, that's interesting. This is to me personal, this is the most interesting thing about the entire dish. I'm
Mm,
sorry, I'm biased. Okay, I'm a
for sure.
linguist.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
for
I'm a
sure. And
linguist.
if you look at once you've got acquired players, VIP management is very important. Like if don't have your VIP plan in place, you're gonna fail as well. Your retention needs to be good. So like that's everything that comes after you've created a brand. But
Mm.
localization for your branding is the most important skill.
Now I have another idea for the title. I have a lot of titles in my head.
Go for it. I like it.
Not to forget them all. So thank you so much. It was an exciting conversation, honestly. Now you
Anytime.
elucidated me on the topic of economy, which is important nowadays. We spoke
All
about
good.
games as well.
Yep.
Thank you so much. I'm very grateful.
Anytime.
Perhaps I might consider entering the niche as well. Your enthusiasm is contagious.
Thank you.
Honestly.
Good to hear. Right. Thank you
Thank you
very
so
much.
much. Bye bye.
Yeah. Bye bye.
As for you, my dear listeners, I hope to see you again here or in our socials.